Okay, so we're back in Ireland after 3 super months in Dubai. We've got probably 6 or 7 weeks of solid work on our business plans here in Ireland. We had a great lecture today by Heinrich Anhold, who's the founder and head of a company called Stable Lab, which makes stall-side blood tests for horses. And he's a great entrepreneur, and he's done very well in Ireland. And it was good to get a bit of knowledge from him about how he started up his company and what his strategies are moving forward. So that was a huge help to us today. We've also been going to UCD with the Michael Smith at Business School. The other part of this phase for us is obviously planning for our futures as well as the business plan. So all 12 of us are in the final stages of finalising our jobs for after the course. It's great to be back in Ireland and back involved in the European bloodstock industry. We've had sort of a year and a half away from that, so it's good to be back involved. We just had the Craven meet Wednesday, Thursday, which is the opener of the flat season really in England and in Europe. We also took in the races at Leopardstown. We watched a very impressive horse called Success Days down the Derby favourite and win the Leopardstown Derby trial. So it's been very good to be back involved. Speaking of being involved, we have our European work placements to look forward to in June. I'll be spending a month with Mike de Kock in his Newmarket yard, so I spent 3 months with him in Dubai and I really enjoyed it, so it will be good to soak up a bit more of that atmosphere and learn what I can from Michael before I start my career post Flying Start. So exciting times ahead for the group.
This weekend, the group of 12 of us went to France for an industry trip. Miguel and Laura organized the trip as they thought it was a shame that the group of us don't get to go experience the industry there as the organized part of the 2-year course. So they organized a weekend away for us, and it was an exceptional visit. People are always asking us what the highlights of the Flying Start are, and that I think has pretty close to top of the list for me. I'd been to Paris for the Arc once, but have never experienced the industry in Normandy and Chantilly, so it was a phenomenal weekend. We went to about 6 or 7 different trainers' yards. One of the highlights was Francis Graffards and Lisa Janes, as they're both Flying Start graduates. Seeing how successful they've been since they graduated was really an inspiration. We went to Cricket Heads and got to see Trev. Andre Fabs was a real treat. And then we toured around Normandy and saw some horse farms, some breeding farms around there. Radu Meseret was a highlight for me, as I'm most interested in the commercial breeding aspect of the industry in the States. The Aga Khan stud there is absolutely stunning, and we did quite a bit of driving, which was good for some of us that were passengers, and the drivers I think had a tough time of it, but Amanda and Laura were kind enough to drive us all around the French countryside. It was absolutely beautiful weather. We loved it, had a great time. The countryside there is like a fairy tale, and it was just one of the best experiences I've had on the Flying Start so far. I really enjoyed it.